I'm sat here currently with a non-vegan, Colin, and we're going to go into a farm.
Yes. It's time to look, it's time to actually go and see it for myself.
Okay, you ready? Yeah, go on.
When I walked into the room, the first thing that jumped out immediately was rats.
What the fuck?
And the smell, it hits you so hard, you can barely breathe, it's sickening.
It is normal, legal procedure. This is a property case. She's a mother. She's just a prison. It's okay, darling. Hey, gorgeous girls. Don't worry, we see you. We see you. We're never gonna stop fighting for you, okay? We're never gonna stop. We'll never stop.
There was a moment where you looked really angry at what you were seeing.
I know which part you're talking about, and actually me and Chris were having a discussion at that point, and he was telling me about these farrowing crates and how long they spend in these farrowing crates.
The mums will be in these for kind of around 4 weeks, 5 weeks at a time. Obviously what happens is the mums will be made pregnant, she'll give birth, have the piglets, she'll be taken out for a while, impregnated again, then she goes back in the box, and she'll repeat that until she's not producing anymore, then she'll be killed.
I think it was that mixed with, you know, these dead piglets. I mean, we all saw the state of that place. I mean, you know, the walls were peeling away with just, I mean, I don't know. It's like the walls are just soaked in death over years, you know. But yeah, I think it was that realization of someone is doing this.
Dead piglet on the floor. Just left there to die with siblings watching. This is an absolute horror show. I actually can't believe this is happening.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Disgusting. I mean, I can't believe the way they treat them, where they're living.
I mean, is this kind of what you expected, or is it like a lot?
Not like this, no. No, this is way beyond what I was thinking. This is really bad, really bad. I mean, there's a mother laying around her dead babies.
This is hard, but take it in, you know, look at what's going on here, you know, as much as we all wanted to just leave that room. I mean, who wanted to spend bloody another minute in there?
There was never an intention of going in there and being like, I'm going to show them the worst of the worst to try and shock you. Like, that's just how pig farms are, kind of thing. I just think it's just important that people realise that, because, you know, people would make up anything to try and discredit them. I don't want people to start being like, oh yeah, they just picked a cruelty case, kind of thing. It was really bad, like you just took him there because it was shocking. That wasn't the case whatsoever.
When you say this is your bacon, this is what you are saying. These little babies who will be sent to gas chambers. Look at the mum. It's okay.
These are the clippers. Clip their teeth to stop them biting each other.
Hello, baby.
it was a completely different ball game, and yes, you could deem it as clean compared to the first room that we went in, but this clean room was rammed, absolutely rammed with flies. They were in your eyes, in your ears. They just covered you when you went in there. And I think we all came to the same conclusion that the only reason why this room was filled with flies and the other one wasn't is because the other one was that bad that the flies couldn't even survive.
Yeah.
You know, it was literally that bad. A fly couldn't live in there.
The smell here. These poor little babies.
The room full of flies. The next day, I found out I had bites on my face.
Did you really?
Yeah, so
because it was so thick.
yeah.
So I imagine I was in there. We were in there 5 minutes. Those pigs are there, all day, every day. So they just must get bit and crawled on and.
Oh man, they must just be coating them. I mean, the thing is, as well, where did those flies come from? Obviously, dead piglets that have been left to rot, like we saw in the other room.
Look at them, they're afraid in the corner. Look at this one. This is horrible here.
What were you guys expecting, and what was the kind of feelings and everything you had? Obviously, you've been an activist for ages. You've seen all the footage and everything, but what was it like for you guys to finally step into Dominion? Talk us through that.
It really felt like we said in the video, it's like stepping into another world, like a hidden underworld that no one even knows about. The footage that we've seen from other activists is all that we had to go on. And I would say that it only gives you a fraction of how you actually feel inside of a farm. The personal emotions are so intense, so heart-wrenching. Like you said, you leave, but you can't stop thinking about them. I can't sleep all the time just thinking about these eyes and these beings that I've seen. And I hate so much that I have freedom and they don't. And I just feel like that's so unfair. And it makes me so angry that there's people in this world putting them in this situation and they have freedom. And that's really hard to deal with. And like you said, we use all that sad emotion and fire to help them to do everything we can to expose these horrors and to show people the truth, because there are so many good people out there who just don't know. I was one of them once. I loved animals all my life and I just did not know. So I think it's so important to do that. But what I expected is I just can't explain in words how bad it is. There is no word that exists to explain how bad farms are.
You almost know how bad it's going to be, but until you're there, it's so much worse.
I just remember feeling a huge spike in sadness and anger of witnessing such rights violations of individuals. Like, it really stuck out. I mean, through the screen we see animals as individuals, we see it, but being there was another layer of this. I can see this individual as having their rights violated so extremely to the point that they aren't even considered the same as a chair. They are really considered as just like a sack of sand. There's no bodily autonomy, there's no freedom, there's no thought, there is just every level of exploitation that you could possibly put onto someone, they have it 10 times worse in every which way. And I just remember thinking, there is no relief from any angle that they're being exploited of. And for me, I knew how urgent they needed us, but going into this place, for me personally, like when I said in the car, they needed saving tonight, I just had this like, oh my gosh, like this fight really, really needs to intensify. Like, we need to fight for them harder.
It's horrible for us being here for a few moments, let alone them living in it. God bless you, I'm so sorry. so sorry. So sorry. I'm so sorry.
You watch the documentaries, you see the footage, but when you walk into these places,
It's like we live in one world, but people don't realise there's a whole other world that no one knows, that's hidden in the dark.
and you just think that these things happen behind locked doors, behind 12-foot barbed wire fences. Because if the average person who didn't have a clue saw what we've just saw tonight, the pain that they are experiencing, it just rips your heart in half.
They have no one to help them. They look out at us and we cannot help those individuals. All we can do is expose, because the root of the problem is that people are funding it with their money, and you're propping up these absolutely horrific industries of hell.
Their life starts on an iron grate. It consists of suffering, an endured, painful, torturous life that will end in a gas chamber.
It's a maternity ward of hell.
Yeah.
They're giving birth to their babies, which should be an amazing thing. For like a human is so special. They're her babies, and you call her babies bacon and sausages. Her babies are dying in front of her face.
Stop turning away with your eyes, because it's just not fair. It's not fair. And if you're vegan and you're not active, then just get active. One thing when you walk in there that really hits you is like, now, them mums, them babies needed saving tonight.
What do you want to say to those people, I guess, that now you've seen it?
You're disgusting. How could you? How could you actually do that? How can you wake up every morning and go and do that? How can you even sleep? How can you get into bed at night and feel good about yourself in any way or form? Like you're literally torturing animals every single day. Just torture. And then you go and cash in. Make a bit of money out of it. Brilliant. Good for you. Even spending an hour in there would be enough to make you vomit. It just smells like death. It's the only way to explain it, really. Just death. And there's no chance for them to be liberated, like the concentration camps as such. There is no liberation for them. There's no quality of life from start to finish in any way or form. Nothing. It's just sadness from start to end. Well, it's hit me this morning. I thought I'd film this. Obviously, it took a few days to process what we were seeing the other night, but I've woken up this morning and I don't know what to say.
At that point, I don't know, it's really hard to explain where I was at that point. I was so torn.
Viewers at this point may be thinking like, okay, you've described this farm. A lot of people pointed out it was a random farm. It is standard, but people may be thinking, yeah, but there's better welfare and they don't have to go through. We don't have to have farrowing crates, for example. We could do it in a different way. So off the back of the farm visit, when you still had that level of confusion, we put to you that we should go to a slaughterhouse where pigs would be taken to have their lives taken, because this would highlight the fact that this wasn't a welfare issue. There is no nice way to do the wrong thing. There's no good way to kill somebody. So by taking you to the slaughterhouse, we were able to show you that, yes, the standard farming practices across the UK and the world are horrific, but even if they were the most fluffy, happy, lovely farms that we were taught when we were children, the thing that happens to them in the slaughterhouse, this is where, the exploitation and the rights violation is the highlight of what we should be focused on, not the welfare.
Like, this is literally a factory for killing.
We're so sorry.
I wish more people faced the truth and didn't turn away.
That's the key.
It's heartbreaking.
Today we're here outside of Pilgrims, which is a UK gas chamber who kill around 3,000 pigs a day here using CO2 gas. Colin's never been outside of a slaughterhouse before, so we're going to show him what happens to the animals as they go in and see them in their last moments before they go in there to be chopped up, to be put inside someone's dinner plate.
I think the thing that was getting me right smack bang at the beginning was the thought of the trucks coming in. And I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to feel when you see these animals on the trucks? And I think that was my mindset at the very beginning. It was like preparing myself for when the first truck came in.
What can you see, mate?
Oh my God, they're packed in, aren't they? There's loads of them.
Loads in there. This is the other piece of that story. So you see the mums in the furring crates.
Yeah.
Our little
Are these
guys.
mothers, are they? Or are these
So these are the babies.
the babies?
Yeah, these are the babies. So the babies that we saw in the bottom of the furring crates are around 6 months old. This is where they're going to find themselves.
There's so many in there.
It's so surreal to think that, within a matter of hours, they're going to be inside a gas chamber.
When you did see those pigs for the first time in those trucks, were they looking fearful? Were they happy? Were they muddy? What did you see when you looked through?
It was disgusting. I mean, it was first of all. I mean, again, we go back to the eyes. You look through the tiny holes or whatever in the side of the trucks, and you can just see them all crammed in together. They're covered in their own excrement. Most likely because they're scared to death. Their eyes are so wide. You can see immediately. They know something is about to happen.
We're so sorry for what our species do to you.
What should I be doing now?
Yeah.
I'm standing around watching it, but what should I be doing? And it's just that feeling of like, just there isn't anything you can do apart from change.
When we're at the slaughterhouse, was there a specific visual sight or a specific sound that really resonated with you or that you really remembered? Did you feel the weight of your choices?
Yeah.
What was that?
So we, as you remember, we took a walk around to the back, didn't we, to get closer to where the chambers were. And it actually took us all a while, if you remember, to work out what it was we were hearing. And it was this sound, it's like a carousel. Like the sound of a rusty old carousel going around. And at first that's all you could hear was this rusty old carousel. But as sort of the time progressed and throughout the day, you would hear pig screams and the rusty carousel and then silence. And then the rusty carousel and pig screams and silence. That was the part that really hit home, and I really sort of like understood where I was.
You can see them getting loaded off, Cole.
Poor babies.
Oh my gosh. How do you walk?
How many there are.
So where they're going to go, the carousel will lower them down. There's about 4 to 6 of them inside. CO2 is heavier than the air, so they get dropped into it. Around 2 minutes, they come across the bottom and then back up the other side.
That sounds like a rotating thing, doesn't it? You hearing that? You hear it?
Is that the chamber?
Yeah. So this is very similar to the one we went in. There were 6 of us. We climbed on top of the gas chamber and we were there for about 4 hours.
We're occupying this gas chamber because they torture pigs in it, down here.
When we were walking around the site, having a look, me and Joey walked around the corner and we both slipped.
Yeah.
And we looked down and there was just this sea of blood. Where we were stood on the gas chamber, if we looked to our left, we could see the lineage and we could see all the pigs. It was heartbreaking. Once we were on, they shut down the gas chamber, called the police. We complied with the police and everything, and we were sat in the truck, and as we drove out, someone just said, they're all going to be killed now, and that was it. We all sat in silence as we drove away, knowing that we couldn't save them, but hopefully we raised a bit of awareness. And we're facing maximum 3 months in prison.
Fuck.
What happened, but yeah.
We're not touching it. We're not touching it. We're all in it. Move on. When you see the pigs in the trucks like this, you have no idea where they've come from. They could have come from a free-range farm. They could have come from a factory farm like we went to.
Yeah.
And this is the point where it's just like, does any of that actually matter?
Thing today?
I don't know, man. It's just like, it's a lot, isn't it?
Like, you come in here as a non-vegan, like being strong enough to say, yeah, I'm gonna come and meet the victims, to see what happens, to see the reality. So strong.
It's just fucking horrible, isn't it?
What is it here?
There's a lot of injustices that we can't change instantly, but this is something that we actually have so much power for change. If you saw a line here of all these animals, would you choose to put them in somewhere like this, or would you choose to just be vegan?
Will you be vegan?
And it's as simple as that. A lot of people complicate it, but it's literally being like, will I kill these animals or will I not? It's literally that. There's like a really distinct line, isn't there, between the deaf and not deaf. You okay? I'm gonna give you a hug.
You're good, boy. Yeah, you got this. You're good.
You have been inside a farm and you have been outside of a gas chamber slaughterhouse. I've asked everyone to ask you questions and they came back with one question. Are you vegan?
Yes.
Yay!
10 years,
Yeah.
we did it! Can't happen, people.
And
What would you say to someone who, after listening to all what you've been through, who just looks at you, shrugs their shoulders and says, it's just the way the world works?
It's time for you to open your eyes. It's time for you to actually look and see what's going on. Don't do what I did and shrug it off, as you put it. Actually go out there and take a look for yourself. Research, find out about it, and you'll understand the same as I did. One, we don't need it. It's wrong. It's just wrong. We can't continue to do this to those poor animals. We can't continue. And it's simple. It's not hard. It hasn't been a big struggle for me. I haven't had to change my entire life around. I'm eating better than I was before. I'm feeling healthier myself. Think about it. Just take the time, think about it. Don't just shrug it off.
And do you think being vegan is enough? Or do you think we need to speak up? And you are welcome to tell everyone about what we have been up to today.
Okay. Veganism is just a start. You know, you change your diet first. You know, you come away from abusing animals and start teaching other people. It's all education, isn't it? It's all education. The more you can educate yourself, the more you can educate others. So, you know, I would say start with educating yourself. Yeah, and today we went out into Bristol and I did my first bit of activism.
Nice.
Amazing.
How did it go?
Amazing.
Yeah, it was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Really
was
well,
really,
let me
really
show you.
positive.
What were you doing exactly? What was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, so I just went and spoke to some people about veganism and how they felt about it. Yeah, it was really,
Look at him in action.
Hey,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
epic.
it was really, really positive. And actually, the girl I was talking to, she was vegetarian, and we got onto some really good dialect about it. She was talking to me about how like cheese was one of the hardest parts, you know, sort of giving up cheese. And funnily enough, she didn't eat meat. You know, so you know, I was just telling her about different cheeses you can try, and you know, and actually give her what is it, my little special cheese on toast with the mustard and the mayonnaise. Very, very nice. Trust me, trust me. But it was lovely. I think like there was a real good connection between both of us, and actually she did come away saying, you know, I'm really going to think about this. So
That's
it was,
awesome.
yeah, it did feel like you know, I made a difference. Really,
Good work.
yeah, it was cool.
Your story's so strong. Like I really think your jump into activism from your transition to veganism is just it is so quick. I mean, that's amazing to see, like, you know, almost straight away you're on the streets. And I think it's because your story's so powerful that, you know, a bunch of vegans took you to a farm and you experienced it firsthand. I think that is such a good testimony that you can share.
Actually, that's kind of what I want to know
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So obviously you would have told them, hey, I went into a farm.
Yeah.
How did you find their reaction? Because obviously, like, I've been able to do that all my life, and you know, there's a lot of people out there that can't do it. I mean, did you find the fact that you could say that they did take you more seriously?
I mean,
and they were a bit more kind of open to it. They're like, oh, really? Like,
I mean, funnily enough, and this is actually a really, really good thing, is that a lot of the people we spoke to were actually really supportive and already vegan.
Yeah.
So quite a few people that approached us, he was just saying straight away, you know, I support this.
oh, cool.
And with her, I didn't actually need to approach her on that level. I think she probably wanted to have that conversation anyway. But yeah, you know, like I said, it was really nice. I think she definitely saw something in me, and obviously I told her, you know, I'm new to this. You know, I've only been vegan for a couple of months now. Yeah, I don't know. It was a nice connection.
It was lovely to see.
Yeah, you need to watch the video and you'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're filming
Yeah.
it with a thing.
And Colin was buzzing after. He was like, yeah, I want to do more.
Yeah, it was really
more."
good. Yeah, it was nice.
I really love that because I think, like you said, your story is so powerful and strong. You've been brave enough to see things firsthand for yourself, break into a farm undercover, go to a gas chamber, face the victims, and then speak up for them. Because I feel like so many people stop at veganism, but then they don't speak up. But you're such a great role model for new vegans and people who have been vegan for a long time to be like, no, this is how we should be doing it. We've got to do something for them because they really need us. So thank you so much for doing that and having the bravery for what you've done to bring eyes to the animals' plight.
Yeah, no,
Thank you
thank
so much for
you
that.
guys. Thank you for taking me on the journey. I mean, yeah, thank you, bro.
Something that I'm interested in, and I know we had a quick chat about this before on the phone. Obviously, how have you found adapting to kind of the other things? I mean, I don't know what you've been up to, kind of thing. I know you've spoken about, you know, you don't really have that much when it comes to like clothing you needed to kind of replace or anything like that. I mean, have you kind of had to kind of question anything else outside of that currently within the last couple of months where you've kind of had to think about things a bit differently in that respect?
100%. And it's
Yeah.
funny that you brought that up because it was literally before you guys turned up.
Oh, really?
Looking
Okay.
at my jacket that sat over there
Right.
to see how it was made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were actually seeing because that jacket was given to me, and yeah, I asked. Sorry, I can't remember her name now.
Jackie.
Sorry, Jackie. I asked Jackie whether she knew what my jacket was made of, and she was saying, maybe it's made of down and that sort of thing. So we actually had a look at my jacket to see what the deal was with the jacket. I'm afraid to say that actually it does have down in it. But one thing I do know is obviously if I'm going to go buy anything like that, I'm certainly not going to be spending anything. I'm not going to be buying animal thing. I think it all takes time, doesn't it? There's a lot to learn, but the basics are simple. After that, just keep taking it step by step.
What I think is really amazing about seeing your journey is we've gone along this journey with you, and it feels like family, like you feel like a brother, and it all feels like family. And I think that's what's really important if you go vegan, is to find a good support network where you can share your food that you're making.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
can say, I haven't really thought about my jacket, for example, and have a little community. And one of the best ways to get community is get active, and activism, you'll see that community, that family will grow, and you'll have friends all over eventually all over the world.
Talking of family, Chris, question for you. I mean, a lot of vegans watching this will be thinking, wow, I wish I could do that with my family. We've all got family members who won't even watch Dominion, let alone break into farms and go to slaughterhouses. As Colin's brother, how does it feel from your perspective? Like Colin having actually gone through what he's gone through, come out the other end, and almost put his arm around you and be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you earlier." And
it's amazing. I'm super proud of him, mate. It's honestly awesome. Like I've been the lone vegan of the family,
the lone wolf,
for so many years, and as I'm sure everyone can attest to, when it is your family and close friends and stuff like that, it can really get you down, because it's just like you're the people that you're closest to, and when even they won't listen to you, it's just kind of like, it's heartbreaking, because you're just kind of like, you're the people meant to be on, you're meant to have
the
my
ones
back.
that are meant to be on board.
You know what I mean? We've never argued about it, ever. He's always listened to me, then got triggered, and then been like, don't listen to me.
Bit much now.
They're the old days.
A bit much now.
And that's basically the same with my mum and my dad. My dad tries to argue with him, but I just tell him that he's being stupid and he should not ever debate me, because he knows he's going to lose. He knows that.
So true.
Yeah, I also tell them that they created me as well. My mum's the animal lover. My dad's always told me to stand up for myself, so they've created a vegan activist.
And now two.
Sorry.
They're building an army.
Literally.
The one thing that is really great about it is it does show you that, it, as much as you can come to a place, where you're just like, that's never going to change, and you kind of try and accept it. It can happen, it can be 10 years down the line, it can be something. Everyone's got a different catalyst. I think that's something, doesn't just apply fun to everybody. Like Colin's catalyst was he needed to go and see it. He needed to see it face to face. That was the thing he needed. Like, he heard it from me and everything, but that allowed him to switch off. He needed to be there, see it for himself, and then go, that's bad. So I guess everyone's just got to find what that catalyst is for their family. Do they need to drag them to a farm? Do they just need to, find the right footage or something? Some people don't want to see slaughterhouse footage. They want to see happy animals. They want to see like a happy pig that's been rescued. That gets them attached to it, seeing them as an individual and as these amazing, happy, beautiful creatures. It's it's a really good feeling to know that it can happen. It's good. I think it's going to be the start of a further journey in the family. I feel that now there's two of us. I think
It's going to get brutal now.
We've opened the black hole within the family, and I think it's going to be even harder for people to kind of ignore it. One of the things that I thought was really cool when we posted the video in our family WhatsApp was Curtis, our cousin Curtis reacted. And he was like, that's really got me thinking about things. And I'd never heard any, I spoke to Curtis briefly about it kind of thing, but it was really kind of, I think the fact that everyone's heard it from me and now they can hear it from Colin. It's like if someone tells you something and then someone else comes along and verifies it. It's like that. So it's like, I've now got the verification. I can kind of say something and be like, if you don't believe me, go and ask Colin. kind of thing. So I think obviously it's a massive win for the animals. You know, I'm obviously super proud. You finally listened.
Yeah.
We did it and everything, and you went in there and you did exactly. You know, the one thing I really respected was the fact that you listened. You went in there. You did exactly what you needed to do. You took it seriously, and that was really appreciated, because I think some people could have just gone in and kind of played up a little bit, kind of thing. But you were like, you know, like you said, you wanted to do it as respect for me, and I appreciated that. I thought it was really good that you were just like, no, actually, I really want to hear him out, and I really want to do it the right way, so I can get the experience that Chris wants me to have.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. Yeah, it was really nice that you did that, and yeah, I'm just excited to see kind of where this goes. I mean, I know Mum and Dad are now really triggered, which is
Mum and Dad, we're coming for you.
which is hilarious.
We're dragging you on.
Hines family tours.
I've already had my dad on the phone. I'm vegetarian first. I don't think it's the right thing.
Yeah, he even told me that he thought you would never go vegan. He said that, and I went, no, I reckon he will. And he was like, I think Colin might go vegetarian, but I don't think he'll go vegan. And I was like, no.
Yeah, see, even after I had the conversation with him, he went quiet. He was like, he was literally like, okay.
Yeah. And I'm hoping, and I know you're going to watch this, Mum, but I'm hoping that this might give my mum the little bit of push to it. I mean, I've got to give her credit. She has definitely made a ton of changes. Both her and Dad have made a ton of changes, really positive changes. But
it's time.
Come on, Mum.
They know.
Come on, Mum.
And January is coming, the January. Easiest time of the year to give it a go.
Yeah.
You've now got 2 people in the family.
I've already taught you the pizza base, so no excuses.
So I think that, I think it's going to be an interesting time, not just for Colin moving forward and Colin's, direct family, Maddie Oliver and that, where their story is going to go, but just as a extended family, I think now it's not just me. It's just going to bring a new kind of element of, oh shit, yeah, this is real, and we need to kind of pay attention to it, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got a message from Peter Egan of words of encouragement for you.
Hi, Colin. Well, look, congratulations. You have made, I think, the best decision of your life. I became a vegan 14 years ago, and it was totally an ethical choice, not a dietary choice, because I couldn't stand the cruelty imposed on animals because of industrialized animal agriculture. So you will find your life has changed not only spiritually and physically. I feel wonderful every day knowing that I don't ever encounter death on my plate. So congratulations. Enjoy a wonderful, new, compassionate life.
Oh,
Big up Peter Egan, what a legend.
Thanks, mate. That's lovely.
Yeah. He wanted to take the time out to send you some words of encouragement. He was really touched by listening to what you had done. He was very admirable of what you'd done, as we all are, as people watching would be. What you have done has been nothing short of commendable. You've not shied away from anything. You've hit every challenge head on, and you've exposed yourself fully to everything. And for that, a huge thank you from us and from the animals.
I think it needs to be stressed again, okay? People do not do this. Really don't. I don't know anyone non-vegan who's just gone into a farm.
So we have a new vegan in the world and an animal rights activist. Thank you so much to everyone who has liked and shared all the other videos that have been on this journey. And please write in the comments any words of encouragement for Colin or for anybody else here. And for anyone who is not vegan, you've heard the truth. Now what will you do with that?
Will you continue to look away, or will you do what's right?